everyone, welcome to the Vise Squad. My name is Tiff. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at South Dakota Fly Girl. Today on this Vise Squad episode, I'm going to be showing you all how to tie the Landon Mayer's mini leech pattern. Say that 3 times fast. I do want to take a moment to give a shout out to Anadromous Fly Company for sponsoring today's video. You can find them on Instagram, and we can drop a link for you to find them on the web. All right, guys, so we are going to get started. Today I have in the vise a size 12 jig hook and a slotted tungsten bead. I normally do fish these on usually 14, 16s, but even 10s and 12s are good for your bigger waters or a lake. This also is a very diverse pattern. It's super effective in lakes or your local streams. So we will go ahead and get started. So I'm having brain fade today. Thread-wise, you can use 70 UTC or 8/0 black. It really doesn't matter. And honestly, this thread isn't even seen. So if you don't have any black, go ahead and just use what you got. So I like to go a little past the hook point there, and I'm going to snip this off. Now this fly isn't super tapered, but I do need enough, so that it's holding that bead down. So I'm gonna go forward, and I'm just gonna make some turns to the front until that bead is not moving anymore. And when you're doing this, make sure that you're not just wrapping constantly right in the front and not giving yourself a little bit of a taper. Again, is it going to matter a ton? Probably not, but we are putting some material towards the front, so you don't want that massively bulky. So we're going to run this back. And the next thing we're going to grab is our crystal flash. Now, Landon does tie this in a purple crystal flash. I personally really like, hopefully you guys can see this on the camera, more of I use a red, but by all means, I've tied this in the purple, I've tied it in more of a pearl, and they all seem to work. So a little trick, and I've showed you guys on my other videos, is to run this right under the thread, as you can see, pulling it up there, and it just makes things so much easier. Everything is there. So go ahead and pull these threads back. Now, Landon uses 1 piece, I use 2. I just like the way it wraps around the body a little bit better. So we'll make a couple of wraps to cinch that down. And then there she is. So we're gonna run our thread back to the front, and I'm gonna stop right about there. Because we don't want to go all the way to the front, because we are gonna be putting some squirrel strips and some ostrich. So we don't wanna overcrowd that front. So we'll go ahead and get this wrapped. All right about there is where I want it. So we'll grab our thread, a couple turns, and I'm notorious for pulling everything back and just kind of capturing it. I feel like it just gives a little bit more of sturdiness to the fly. All right, so we'll go in and get rid of this. I just capture those threads and then just roll it back forward. And we're gonna leave that right at the front. Our next material is gonna be our squirrel. Now, you can use rabbit. This is rabbit. But as you can tell, these are so petite. Rabbit, and again, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but rabbit is so much thicker hide-wise versus the squirrel. And I just like the more petite look. This is what Landon uses, and so that's what I use. And I've tied these in this olive, and I've tied them in black, and both have been super effective. So as far as lengthwise, I like to go about 1 inch off of my hook. So obviously they're going to be different Depending on your size of the hook. When I first saw this fly, guys, I was like, how is that going to be effective when you've got this much of a tail out here and this little, you know, hook here? You know, I thought, gosh, everything's going to be jumping and grabbing the back. But it doesn't work that way. I don't know. I'm guessing that they're attacking the head, and that's why it's such an effective fly. So now you can, and I'll show you guys here once I have it on here. So right now, pull this down here for you guys. I'm gonna go a little bit shorter. I tie these a little bit longer to begin with. So about here, you stay there, you dirty word. You know, about an inch, and I do take into account too the materials coming back here, not just the high part. In still water, I find these more effective being a little bit longer, like say, you know, this length. If I'm tying it specifically for creeks, I will make them a little bit shorter, like say there. But the nice part about this pattern is you can, you know, say you're out still water fishing one day and then you are heading to a creek, super small creek the next day, just simply cut it a little bit shorter. No big deal. So I would definitely do them longer than shorter. Another thing to this fly is, you know, most of us tiers were normally used to tying them hide down. But because this fly is running this way in the water, you're going to want to tie it hide up. So go ahead, and I like to clean just a little bit of that hair off the front. And then we're just going to put this towards the front and kind of, you can just cinch everything with your fingers. You know, a lot of folks will just hold it this way. I do a couple loose wraps to make sure it's sitting right on top. And then once it's where I want it, I just cinch down. Now with our next material, for me at least, it seems like if I have any divots or, you know, bumps or anything, the ostrich kind of doesn't want to stick straight up and make that profile. So when you're working this front part and tying this part in, just make sure you're kind of giving yourself an even workspace. Because with the ostrich, it's representing the head of the leech. So we don't want it, you know, kind of laying down. We want it straight up. And the nice thing about ostrich is it keeps its shape in the water. So we are going to, we've got that done there. Like I said, guys, this is a super simple fly, and you know, it's like what, 6 materials, including the hook and the bead. So we're gonna take some ostrich, and I use black on this one. I guess you could probably use multitude of colors if you wanted to. So, and it's gonna, this part's gonna be super hard for me to show you guys, but ostrich kind of is, and again, I can't really show you on the screen. So ostrich has fibers that are kind of different. You've got one side that the spines face up, and then you've got another side where the material faces down. And when we're spinning this, we want the spines that are facing up, the ones that we're spinning, to stick up. They just seem to stick up straighter. Also, and I wish I could show you guys, but it's just so hard with these feathers. Your feather has, just like most feathers, the fibers go that way, and then they go that way. And when you're tying this, you want your fibers to be facing that way towards the fly. So again, I'm sorry I can't show you guys super well, but hopefully explaining it, and then once you get your hands on a ostrich feather, you'll kind of understand what I'm saying. So I'm gonna tie this in towards me. Oop, can't see it. Got it. And just give it a couple wraps. You can make sure that it's facing the way you need it to. And mine is. Yay, go me. Okay, so we're just gonna make wrapping turns straight up. And you can do, you know, people will do 10 to 20 of these wraps. I don't even count. I just kind of do it until I like the head. Perfect. All right, and we're just going to cut off that excess. All right, guys, and honestly, we're gonna put some, you know, whip finishes in it, and we're gonna put some head cement on it, and then this fly is done. Super simple. You can crank these out like nobody's business. And you can do in a multitude of colors, and stillwater fishing, they are the bomb. So there's a couple different ways that you can do this, you know, as a presentation. You know, as I stated, this represents a leech, like in a subsurface condition. You know, you can run it either attached to like a nymph rig, where this is your bottom fly, like a trailer on a streamer. It has even been super effective for me. And then like a dry dropper. Or you can you fish it just like it is, and not necessarily have like a tandem rig. So when you attach with like a clinch knot, this fly, it will ride like almost horizontal, like a balanced leech. And that's super duper effective for me, especially stillwater fishing, like say off my, my river rat. So I usually use the clinch knot on this one, but you can do the loop knot. And so if you're using the loop knot and say you have a dry fly above, and that, you know, it's going to bounce just like whatever that dry fly is doing on the surface. And it's going to move and jig and, you know, hopefully get the attention of that trout. So, guys, again, this is the Landon Mayer's Mini Leech Jig, and you can tie it in 10s, 12s, 14s, 16s. If you want to get super ambitious, you could tie it in 18. Just make sure, you know, you're compensating the tail size. You know, don't have it this huge with a little bitty hook. So awesome pattern, and I hope you guys will give it a try. I want to thank you all for stopping by and watching today's fly tying episode. I hope you all enjoyed spending a little time with me, and I would love to hear your thoughts and ideas, so drop them in the comments below. Good or bad, you aren't going to hurt my feelings. Please, please, please give this video a like, and if you don't already subscribe, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And don't forget to smash that reminder bell so you're the first to know when new content drops. So if you guys are in the market for some gear, make sure you head on over to fishingoutdoors.ca for my Canadian friends, and fishingandoutdoors.net for my US friends. I will be back to hang out with you guys and gals every Sunday. I was on Mondays, and I've switched to Sundays. So I'll be back this coming Sunday with a new fly tying segment. But in the meantime, you can always check out my fellow fly tyers, Ryan, tying up some great fly patterns. If you guys are interested in becoming part of the Vise Squad, by all means, send me a message. We are looking for a few other tyers. It's just a fun thing to do, to share with each other. Yeah, I can get you some more information if that's something you guys would be interested in. So I thank you guys again. See y'all next week. Tight lines, my friends.